Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Championship Leadership Podcast is special batch of episodes that we've been doing with Class 3 Championship Leadership 24-hour experience, CL24 in Vegas. So we got my man Paul Casey, one of the graduates, and fellow CL24 Buckle earner, Buckle team, Buckle club. Paul, you're in California. What part?
I'm in the Bay Area, so I'm in
Bay Area.
Inglewood area.
Cool, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Nate. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, why don't you talk just a little bit first of how you came across CL24 that happened as of this recording just a few weeks ago. How'd you even hear about it? What did you and what was it about it that really made you be like, man, I got to go do this thing?
So I heard about it on Zach's podcast.
Zach Babcock.
Zach Babcock. I heard it on his podcast. So basically a friend of mine sent me his TikTok, I think. It was like, hey, this guy really reminds me of you. He's got a similar background story as you, and he's, risen from the trenches to build a successful business, as I have been doing as well. And so I started listening to his podcast. I really love what he talks about, coming from the bottom and striving to become a better version of yourself, right? And really pushing through the struggles to become better. And I came across this podcast where you and him were talking about the CL24. And I heard about it, and I was just like, that sounds like something I want to do. For me, like, I grew up super skinny. Okay. I was like 140 pounds in high school, maybe less.
How much you weigh now?
I weigh 205 now.
Okay.
Right. So like I was so skinny, Nate, that I was on a wrestling team. I had to wrestle the only girl on the team. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So I got picked on, I got bullied because of that. And I got obsessed with working out.
Did you beat her, bro?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
So I got like obsessed with working out. That became a passion. That became an outlet for me. And I got bigger over time. But also as I, got more into fitness, I started finding challenges that I wanted to train for. Right. So it was no longer about like, I want to be a big buff guy. I want to be strong. I don't want the biggest arms, biggest legs, whatever. Like it became like, let me find a challenge. Let me find something like this sounds difficult. Let me train for it. Let me, crush it basically is the goal. Right. And then, feel proud of myself for finding a challenge that I didn't think maybe I could do and doing it. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, cool, there's my next challenge. Right. I was supposed to do the whole Spartan trifecta this year. I was supposed to do a couple half marathons. I was supposed to do my first full marathon the day after my birthday. Like I had all these plans for 2020 that COVID stopped. So I've still been training, like exercising, like, because it's just, it's my passion. It's what I do for a living. It's what I do for a career. And it's what I do for fun. But I didn't have a specific goal in mind. So when I heard this, I was like, oh yeah, this sounds like something that I can train for. Cool. Let me do it. And also the leadership aspect, the mental fortitude aspect of it as well was really important to me, right? Because a lot of times, you can train physically, right? But being able to train physically and also prepare yourself mentally to face a challenge that you've never faced before is really important. So, it's funny because I heard you talking about like during the event, you were talking to other people that were involved in it about what part of the video made you want to do this? I didn't watch the video when I signed up.
Yeah,
I didn't watch.
I think it's sometimes a good thing.
Yeah, my girlfriend actually told me about the video afterwards. Like, babe, did you see the video? It looks pretty intense. I was like, oh, there's a video. I was just like, I'm just that type of person. If I find something I want to do, I just go for it. Like no questions asked. The only question I asked you was, would there be some food for me because I'm a vegan? So
yeah, right.
I emailed you. You emailed me back. Yes,
that.
And I paid right there on the spot. Let's do this.
Like, hell yeah, we can make that happen for sure. So, cool, man. So, well, talk a little bit. The intent of this event isn't just to be a physical experience, a physical challenge. It really is to help to build leaders and to help you grow as a leader through leadership, teamwork, communication, attention to detail, all the things that are included inside of that. So maybe talk a little bit about, I don't know what other challenges you have done. Have you done any Spartans or anything like that before? Or was this your first time?
Yeah, I've done one Spartan. I did
Okay.
the Spartan sprint out here in at the San Francisco Stadium. So I did that. That was my first Spartan, and that's like I literally walked out of there, and when you finish, like, oh, sign up for the next one. I was like, okay, I want the whole trifecta now. I did one, I went all
Yeah.
three this year.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Give me the next ones, So
I got you. So yeah, I mean, so talk maybe a little bit about how you would differentiate CL24 from Tough Mudder, a Spartan, some other 24-hour challenge where it's just kind of something to see if you can get through it, right?
I would say for me, it was the team aspect of it. Okay. A lot of my trainings that I've done for myself have been, these are just goals I want to do for myself. Like doing that Spartan, I did this. I went with a group of people to the Spartan, but we didn't do the Spartan together. We all started together, and then we met each other at the finish line.
Okay.
For me, the Spartan was like, I want to get it done as quick as I can. I want to push myself as hard as I can. When I was training for these longer runs, so I could do a half marathon, a full marathon, I was on a running program, and the goal was so that I could become a better runner, so I could complete these events in a faster time. It wasn't a team effort. Whereas CL24, yeah, I had to come in and prepare it as myself, but there was a lot of team efforts, especially with the log work and things like that, where we had to work together. Like if one person was not as strong as the other, we had to pick up each other's slack and help each other out, right? And I found that very important for me, especially for what I do for a living, right? I really got into exercising. I really got to train people while I was incarcerated, okay? And while I was in prison, you can't baby each other. Like we're basically soldiers, right? You're like, whoever you're with there, you got to make sure that the people around you are ready in case something happens, right? If we go to war with someone, like you want to be ready for that, okay? So there wasn't no like, oh, I can't do this. No, like you have to do this. You have to build yourself up and become the strongest, most intense soldier you can, because I need to make sure that you're as tough as I am if something happens, right? But the real world's not like that, and sometimes I forget that. Okay, so I work with a lot of people, and sometimes I get this mentality like, why can't you do this? You should be able to do this, and that's not the right mentality, right? Being able to work with different people of different fitness levels, of different abilities, and be able to see, okay, you're not the strongest suit here, but you're really strong here, or vice versa, and be able to kind of step in, like, okay, this is where I was able to step in and be a leader. This is where so-and-so was able to step in and be a leader. And we all had our parts where we had to step up and help the others out. That was really important for me. That gave me an opportunity to sit back, like, okay, first off, I can't do this all on my own, right? Yeah. And I shouldn't have to do it all on my own. And second off, like I got to meet people where they're at. A big thing, like for me, was like when we were doing the runs with the logs, and I was like, just for a brief moment, I was just trying to like push it as hard as I can, and we almost lost someone on our team. And they're like, oh, we're losing so and so, and I was just like, oh crap, okay, scale back some. We got to make sure we do this together. Right. Yeah. And being able to do it as a team effort, that really built me up as a person and as a leader as well.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you say is the most powerful part of CL24, your favorite parts, or the part that you took the most away from, as far as, evolution or time during the 24 hours?
I'd have to say, for me, the most powerful part was the water, right? Was spending so much time in the water, because I was not physically prepared for that, right? Yeah. It wasn't really any way I could train for that. That was where my mindset had to take control, right? And where I had to just, remind myself that this sucks, but this is not forever, and that's life, that's life, and so it was very powerful, because as a business owner in the middle of a pandemic, trying to build a business. Well, I'm building a business, right? But doing it in the middle of a pandemic, there's been a lot of ups and downs, right? And there's moments where it gets frustrating, right? And so it's times like that I remind myself, just like when I was sitting in that water, neck deep, shivering, my stomach was cramping up, and I was just like, oh, this sucks. It's not going to suck forever, Yeah. Right. And Coach Tree would always tell us, like, just be in the moment. This is not how this whole 24 hours is going to be, but this is how it is right now. So take it like a man and just deal with it, Yep. And that's what I just had to do, And I think that was very powerful for me, because when things show up in life, it's important for us to realize, okay, this right now sucks. People die, divorces happen, kids, just all kinds of things can happen wrong in your life, and it's what you do with it,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. What, as we start to wrap this up, like what, who would you say that this CL24 is for? Um, and, and, so if somebody's on the fence or kind of thinking about it, I found, now that we're 3 going on 4, there have been some people kind of hanging in the weeds that have been watching from the sidelines, right? Kind of seeing how, if you do the first one, they're like, all right, I don't know, what is this? And then we have 2, then we have 3, and they're like, all right, well, this thing must be kind of like doing all right and going in the right direction and starting to grow. And now you got some people that are, that have been watching for a while and about ready to take that step and see if they have what it takes to get through CL24 for the challenge that it is. What would you say to those people to get them to jump and move?
I would say that if you want to make a serious change in any aspect of your life, this right here will help you do that, right? Something like working in the fitness industry that we say a lot is, and Coach Tree, and I think you said it a few times too, like get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? This was an uncomfortable situation, but you don't change, you don't grow unless you get comfortable being uncomfortable. Yep. So I would say that anyone that's trying to grow in any aspect of their life as a human being, as a father, as a mother, as a business owner, as an employee, in any aspect of your life, if you want to grow and become stronger, you got to put yourself through situations that are uncomfortable. This is definitely one of those situations. And I mean, this right here is a great eye opener. Like it's 24 hours. If you can make it through this 24 hours, like what else can you face in life? That's a huge thing. I think that, people can take away from this is once you've made it through this, you can really push yourself through anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. You earned the buckle. You're one of 3 so far. So we've had 3 different classes, and we had one person, a good friend of mine, Jake Sherman, who I was deployed with in the Army to Kuwait for 15 months. He won the very first buckle, and then nobody in class 2 did. That's a big reason they all came back. And then you had Richie, who came back for class 3, who got the buckle as well as yourself. And yeah, hopefully the buckle is something that people do, that entices people to come and that they really want to show up prepared so that they can earn the buckle, right? Big piece of that is passing the PT test, showing up as a leader throughout the experience and finishing. But it's not just about the buckle. That wasn't the intent of it. It was really what it represents and what it symbolizes as who you are, how you showed up, being a leader and having what it takes to lift others up throughout and finish. But yeah, so what did it mean to you to get that buckle come through on the first time? Did you know about the buckle coming into it even?
I knew about the buckle.
Okay.
I heard, like I said, I heard about the program, about the event through with Zach's, his podcast, right? So I heard about the buckle.
That's right. We talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think what was really important about the buckle. So I'm in the fitness industry. I'm in pretty good shape. I was able to come into it prepared physically for the physical standard test, right? Like I trained for it. I knew this is what I needed to be able to do, and I pushed myself. Like my training, my training pivoted towards that. Like that's what I focused on when I did my daily workouts, when I did my daily runs, when I started going hiking and stuff. Like I don't do a lot of hiking as it is. Like for me, hiking has been like, let's go walk through the forest with my girlfriend or something like that. Not let me throw on 30 or 40 pounds of weight in a backpack and go up a hill, like really turning it into an exercise workout, So I definitely started incorporating that. But for me, the buckle, what I thought was really cool, which made me feel really good about the buckle was you even told us after we finished the PST, you're like, just because you finish this doesn't mean you get the buckle,
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, I knew I did that portion. I got one checkbox done. Okay, cool. Have to finish it. I'm gonna finish it. There's no way I showed up and I'm just gonna not finish it. It's just not in my nature, right?
Right.
But showing up as a leader, because in this world, I feel like there's not a lot of people that step up to that plate, right? There's a lot of people that are very comfortable with, okay, I just want to follow suit with what society or what my boss or what these other people that are releasing. I just want to do it, right below them. Like if I just follow them around, I'll be somewhat successful. Like, but stepping up and actually being that leader, that's super important. And I knew that I needed to do that throughout this event,
Yeah, definitely. You did, man. You did. Stepped up, and you definitely were all about the team and helping people through and carrying them out. So you definitely earned it. I went through a 52-hour event, and we had 9 people finish, and there were a few of those. There's one in particular that sticks out in my mind that I like. If there was a buckle to be earned, he would not have gotten it. Like, if it was my event, I would not have given it to him. Like, he passed the PT standards. So that's how he was able to continue in the event, and he finished. But he really did the bare minimum. He was there all for himself. He wasn't really helping anyone else out. And it's kind of amazing that he just skated through and really kind of did the minimum. And like, he would not have gotten the buckle had it, if it was the end of CL24, like, he would have got the shirt, because he was there and he made it through, but he did not deserve the buckle. So that's like you said, it's one thing to show up physically prepared and then just to kind of get through on your own. And it's a whole nother to really step up and be a leader. So, and that's what it was intended to do. So, yeah, I haven't had that issue yet, but you and Richie absolutely deserved it. And that's why we gave it to you. So I appreciate you. Anything else? Any final thoughts on CL24? You ever going to come back? Any final thoughts on CL24 before we sign off here?
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I want to do that again. The actual
absolutely.
I do want to do your other event though, the 3-day one. I definitely want to check that out.
ULW. Yeah, man, coming up soon. But yeah, no, I get it. Like, I don't know that I would ever want to do it again. Who knows, right? But for some people, they are coming through. Some people are coming through to get the buckle. Richie's coming through a 3rd time. Really got kind of talked into it, but also, it is. It's that challenge. I think you should do something like this every year to continually push yourself. Like you said, get yourself a little bit uncomfortable, because we get complacent real easy. We get comfortable. We take a foot off the gas pedal, and it's just a great reminder. And like, because you've been through it. Yeah, it sucks when you go through it, but it feels amazing when you finish. When you get done, it's a big sense of accomplishment, and there should be, because you feel alive too, right? Won't spoil it too much, but in the morning we get a pretty powerful experience when we go on a nice hike to finish the day close to, and that's powerful. A little reward for all the hard work that you guys do. So. But yeah, I just appreciate you and how you showed up, and thank you for coming here today, man. How can people find you, follow you, and what you're up to?
People can find me on Instagram at @the_coach_Paul or www.abetteryoufitnessllc.com. I do in-person and online fitness and mindset training.
Say your website again. It's cut out real quick.
All right, www.abetteryoufitnessllc.com.
abetteryoufitnessllc.com.
Yes, sir.
Cool. We'll get that in the show notes as well. But thanks, my man, for showing up. He's even got the championship leadership swag on. He's got the hoodie on.
I'm rocking that.
And I love it, man. So appreciate you, and have a great day.
You as well, man.